From Cyclops casting rumors to cosmic Young Avengers and DC's Ultraman tease, this week's universe is exploding with reveals, plus Star Wars drinks, zombie blockbusters, Fear Factor's return, and so much more today on Fundamentals. Words are hard today. Exploding
Words
is a hard word to say, apparently.
exploding cantaloupe, it's a thing, but
Yeah,
I'm so glad to be here. It's been a week. It's been a week.
it
So
has been a week. Woo, let
so
me tell
happy to
you.
be here with y'all. But you ready to jump into some Marvel?
Yes, let's kick off with some Marvel. So, Jack Champion might be trading Pandora for Professor X. Rumors say he's in the running to play Scott Summers in the MCU's X-Men reboot.
Ooh. Like so I know that we talked about this, I guess, like before, but I mean, like just to still hear that he's still rumored, to be Scott Summers, I'm really excited to see him play the role. I think
Hmm.
he was in Jack Champion was in the Avatar 2, The Way
Mm-hmm.
of the Water, The Shape of the
Right.
Water, the something of the water.
They were
And
just in the water.
the water was real. The water is wet. But what I'm trying to say is that I don't think I've ever actually seen. I'm sorry.
No, no,
I
no.
don't think I've ever actually seen him, like actually like act.
Hmm.
But what do you think about this?
Yeah, I think honestly, I don't know a whole lot about his acting skills, like you're saying. I don't think I like. There's nothing I can call from my recollection to actually see him that really stood out on a film yet. But he is a young actor, so I think he's up and coming. I would love to see a lot of the X-Men be up and coming people we really don't know about. Looks
Hmm.
wise, I think he's got the looks for a young Scott Summers. I mean, like
Yeah.
I visually can picture him as a young Scott Summers.
Hmm.
So if this is the realm we're going for a large leading character like Scott Summers, I like this. This is telling me that we're heading in the right direction, possibly, if this becomes true, because I really think that means that we could have a lot of the X-Men team be young
Hmm.
and upcoming people. And so I
Right.
think that's super important for that to be done.
Hmm.
I mean, that's really kind of how the MCU started.
Hmm.
In phase one was they kind of threw in some lower running people or up and coming people, a collaboration of both, and it's made who a lot of these people are today on standing out on their performance. So
Yeah, but with like that being said, for if we're gonna get a young Scott Summers, does that mean that it's before he's leading the X-Men team? Does that mean that he's like
it's
in
true.
school
Yeah.
and learning under Professor X, and we're gonna get to see that growth?
Hmm.
Um,
I like that actually. I would like to see them start out as younger like that. I mean, you could get Professor X, leading them, and then Storm leading them, because Storm, is one of the first, I think, the first teacher with Professor X as one of the older X Men. So I would love to see an older Storm and Professor X teaching them, and we get to see their whole journey come from like maybe. I mean, maybe this could be them right out of school.
mhm,
Just becoming the X Men. They just graduated. They're like 19, 20.
mhm.
I like that personally.
Yeah.
And I think too, like we talked before, with them really trying to reach out and connect with a younger audience, that would be the perfect age to really do that with. I mean, late teens, early 20s, and you're really trying to delve deeper into a new age gap, or not age gap, age area of bringing in new Marvel fans.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Jamie had said in our comments. And hey, Jamie, like she was saying that they always nail their castings, and she loves it when they have like a up and comer chances. So
Yeah,
that's
no, for
exciting.
sure. So the mind behind Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is now scripting the X-Men MCU debut. So we have our director, we have our writer now. Only thing really, as we see with Jack Champion, is now casting, announcements. So
Yeah, I mean, like I'm really happy about that. Like that we are getting the director, producer, like all of those key elements of an actual movie. And then you're getting the actors after based off of like hopefully they have a script that they can be like, all right, go ahead and read this portion of the script that's going to be actually in the movie. and then get to see how they like play off of one each other to get to see that
Right.
chemistry. I think is really important in movies.
Well, also what I think is super important, I think they're heading in the right direction with this writer and this director, right? So we talked about Jake Schreier last week, where he's worked and done a great movie that we all love with Thunderbolts, and that's a team put together of random people.
Hmm.
I mean, look at Michael Leslie. Literally, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is a group of random people put in an arena, and then sometimes they're against each other, sometimes they're having to learn to team up with each other. This is a strong start. I mean, both of these people, director and writers, have proven success of bringing random people together as teams and teaming up together. So,
Yeah. I mean, I still haven't actually seen this Hunger Games movie. I'm
it's good.
sorry, I
It's
haven't.
good.
I
No,
don't
it's
know.
good. That even a
Uh,
lot of the casting. All right, listen. If it's because of if it's because of who plays, is it Lucy Gray? Yeah, her character is Lucy Gray. That's not her real name, is it?
I don't know because I haven't
Anyways,
seen it.
Snow. All right, let me just tell you this. Snow White's in it. Okay.
Yeah, the Lord Farquaad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But she does really good in this. Her character is good. Like throw away Snow White, throw away the controversy that everybody knows, and like I think the casting was good. I think the movie was great.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I have to, not that I have to be in a mood to like watch a musical, but I kind of have to be like in that right mindset. Like the same thing with anime for me. Like I can't just watch anime every single
Right.
day. Like I have to change up what I'm watching.
Uh huh.
Um, like last night, AD and I decided that we were gonna have a Keanu Reeves night. So we started out with
Nice.
Speed, and then we had to stop and watch all of Squid Game because I forgot that Squid Game season 3 came out, and then we went back and started watching Matrix. Now we have to watch the rest of the Matrixes. I don't know. But
Matrix Eye. I like that.
Matrix Eye. um, but yeah, so we were like, randomly on a day we'll be like, we're gonna watch this. Like
Right.
this is the actor that we're gonna watch, and then we're gonna just choose movies based off of what that actor is
I
in.
like that. I love that.
It helps with like when you're just sitting around and you don't know what you want to watch, but like
Mm-hmm.
if you just choose an actor and you just look at what they have, so let's say Ben Stiller, right?
Right.
You're just sitting there and you're like, okay, Ben Stiller, he's in Tropic Thunder, he's in Zoolander, he's in like and you get to choose what you decide you want to
Sure.
watch.
Yeah. Ha- hashtag couple goals. There we go. That's great.
This way, that's that way.
I don't even know. I don't know. I did it on the back. I'm looking at it myself, and I'm like, oh shit. Oh yeah, here we go.
I'm like, no, that doesn't look right. I think
Yeah,
that way.
it's because
I don't
I was
know.
looking at it, and I wasn't looking at. Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh yeah. So
um,
3 episodes in, and Ironheart isn't holding back. Let's break down these bold titles and these first 3 episodes and our thoughts on it.
oh my God. All right. So I'm just gonna kind of do a big overall.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I know that there are people that are not enjoying this series, but God damn it, I am loving it. I absolutely enjoyed every part of it. Like, AD and I were watching it together, and he at first was like, "Oh, it's something to watch," and now, like yesterday, he was like, "Put on the next Ironheart," and I'm like, "That's Tuesday, dude. It's not Tuesday," and he's like, "Make it Tuesday." Because I mean, like, it really just left you at that because we get the first 3 episodes and we're getting the rest of the three
Mm,
on July 1st. So, um, really just like, man, the amount of possibilities that they have cooking, like, I am so
yeah,
excited. And even Ryan Coogler said it. He said that this is like the setup to something that's really big. So I'm really excited to see where they go with this and if it is truly going to take more of what we've seen here in
mm,
Ironheart into Vision Quest.
okay. So I got a few things to say about it.
Okay.
They're hit and miss. They're like both sides of the fence. I don't hate
Yeah.
it. I can tell you this. I don't dislike this. I'm enjoying this. I'm ready to see the next 3 episodes. Like when the three ended, I'm like, damn, I gotta wait a week. But so I'm just so here's what I think. I think it's a fun side quest.
Okay.
I think it's not super in depth yet. And here's the other thing too. It's hard to really speak on this when we're going off just the first three, right? Because we've seen this from many series. You can have so many things go through the first half of the season and it turn
Mm,
around and throw so much more depth in the last half of the season.
yeah.
Especially when the turning points in these series tend to be in episode 5, and we've only seen the first 3. So I'm going to state this only off of these first 3, and I can't wait to see the last 3 and then really talk about how we feel about this once we get to see how it starts and ends. So
Yeah.
I think this is a fun side story.
Okay.
I don't feel like Riri should be a fun side story, okay? Because
Okay.
like she's taking on the Iron Man mantle, right? And I
Yeah.
think that's huge. I think that's important, and so it's fun. It's not super in depth yet. Um, I so
No,
here's
say
an
what you want to say.
yeah,
Say it.
yeah. So literally, like Zeke, her and Zeke, Obadiah Stane's son. I think that's probably one of my favorite things about it so far, and I love the chemistry between them two. I want to see
Mm.
more scenes with them two, and oh my god, y'all do not sleep on letting them team up. They better team up somehow together in like building her next suit.
I
In
don't think
this,
they will, though.
uh,
I don't
I
think that
will.
they will because I think that they are making him into the next Obadiah and
N-
or into the next
mm,
Iron Man. Like I think it's so here.
yeah.
That's why I think that is because with the last so
Mm-hmm.
I guess like the spoiler warning and everything. But the last episode that we saw and she had the skin graft that
Right.
fell, and he was like, "You cannot let this get back to me," and she's like, "Don't worry, I won't."
And she did.
And she did, right. So,
Right.
like, you think that they're just going to be like, well, that sucks. Anyway, we're going to team up and we're going to make a new suit together.
Right.
Like, I don't think that that is what is going to happen. I think that he's going to be maybe kind of like a Doc Ock, where he is now that he has touched the technology and now he has all of these ideas that he's going to be putting it all together. Because, I mean, we have seen he has the dough, he has the cash to get the people, so.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's so predictable for this to be like, oh, I don't want to be like my dad, and guess what? He ends up turning out like his dad. I would love to see him not want to be like his
Yeah.
dad and him stick to that. Okay, like I mean, let's be honest right now. Riri is not going down a good path, and they're kind of leading
No.
her to kind of be a bad person, and it
Mhm.
almost seems like he's actually being a better person. And I really hope that turns in this last half. I hope I think she will. Doesn't lead to be going down the wrong path, and maybe she stays on that path for a while. But I would love to see like her turn, and then him really still keep that good persona that he has, and them team up
Mm.
together somehow. I don't know. I like him. A lot of people didn't
Yeah.
care for his Han Solo. I actually loved the Solo story and loved him as a younger Han. But another thing with Riri
I
that
completely forgot that was him.
yeah, another thing I'm like, was this really thought through? But also, this could be explained slightly in this last half. Is okay, we see her in Wakanda forever, right? She gets this dope ass suit from the Wakandans. They built her, and then after that, now okay, obviously they probably had to keep the suit. But they just like threw her to the wayside and said, "We ain't got nothing to do with you, even though we just let you have a big fight in this badass suit that probably nobody else is going to use." And now she's like getting expelled for MIT, has no money, has no connections, and now she's forced to go this route. That don't make sense to me. Unless there's a reason the Wakandans kind of threw her to the wayside and we find out about that. I don't see
Well,
the
that's
Wakandans
what
being like that, especially with her and Shuri. Like, this makes
well, that's
zero
exactly
sense.
what so Shuri had said, and that like if you do this, if you continue to do this, I will not come save you. And consequences for your actions, this is what's
Hmm.
happening. So I think that we are going to get to see, I think that this is where Riri is going to continue going onto the darker side because she has a piece of that hood. We saw what
Hmm.
the hood did to the hood.
Right.
And I don't know, man, like because we see in the trailers that the suit itself has the magic imbued in it, right?
Sure.
So the fact that anytime anybody has put on that hood, that cloak, if you will, we want to use a different word, anybody puts on the cloak, they kind of like get that, they start to
Hmm.
go kind of on the bad side, and we kind of hear the voices that are talking to her, and or not talking to her, but talking to the hood, right?
Hmm.
because we haven't seen the voice with Riri yet. Um, who we might be thinking is Mephisto, the devil. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's another
Um,
thing. Is like Mephisto better show up, and this better not be just some run of the mill side demon. This better not be some side demon. This better be Mephisto. I'm gonna be so mad if it's like, oh yeah, this is a demon from the Hell realm under Mephisto, and they just keep on. We still never get him.
yeah. And I mean, like AD had said in the comments that he feels like it's an original story, but for like who and what. And I'm thinking that it's for us to get introduced to Mephisto, get to see Ironheart continue, so Riri continue as what she's doing, and then
Hmm.
the Natalie AI that she has built. And I don't know if you watched the new Rockstar's breakdown of this, but
Hmm.
they were talking about how Natalie could be used, that AI could be used for um, Vision Quest and how, because we know we were getting Jocasta, right?
Right.
So
Right.
like how are we, like what's going on? I need more information. I'm excited though to see where this
Yeah.
leads.
I'm loving the heist thing. I loving how there's three, and we're leading up to the big one, and I'm curious to see what the big one is. I will say this: the CGI is freaking good. Like,
Yeah.
her suit looks amazing in this, and like the special effects that they're using. Another slight mistake. I get that they did the Natalie thing to try to do a more emotional connection, with
Mm.
her AI, and maybe this would change my mind by the end of it. But I think it's annoying. I think it's so annoying. Natalie is annoying to
What?
me. Yeah. No,
No.
no. Now it may be because they're trying to get used to each other, and and they're going to finally sync up properly. And I think that's what they're leading to,
Okay.
right? Because Riri's kind of fighting her,
Yeah.
because of the emotional deal, and like I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Like I said, it's hard. So like so many of these views I have can easily turn.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't dislike it. I think it's fun. I think the CGI is good. I think this high stuff's fun.
Yeah.
One last, I guess, negative take is like I want to love Anthony Ramos so bad. I want to love him so bad, but he is the same guy in every freaking movie I've ever seen him in.
Mm.
Same way with which he's dead, so we don't have to worry about it. But Manny from Good Girls, he
Have
played
him.
John. No, he plays. He literally just came out of Good Girls and is the same character in this. So I don't know, but they killed him off, and I think that they probably realized that, but they threw him in that first episode, I think, to draw some of the female audience because females go crazy over him.
Oh, the dude with the hair.
No, 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 no.
No.
Anthony Ramos' right hand man that suffocated in the greenhouse.
Oh, well, that's not the first episode then. That's all the way
Oh
down
yeah,
to
oh
the
yeah.
third.
I'm over here thinking this is all one setting. I watched them all in one
Ah,
setting, so it's all
I
one
think
episode for me.
I think like
Yeah, my
there's only
bad.
one
Yeah.
person.
It's
And
one set.
then
I'm thinking about being one giant episode, but
technically
yeah,
they did kill off the that guy though. Like
yeah. Nick something. I think it was his name. Nick something. I can't remember.
I all I remember is Rampage.
Rampage. Yeah. uh.
Yeah, no, I mean like for honestly the like for me I am really excited though.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't know if
super
that's
excited
because
and
it's
waiting
like
for it.
yeah, and I feel like I'm putting a lot into my thoughts and stuff, and I'm hoping it won't let me down, but maybe it will. I don't
Yeah.
know, but
No.
like it's
Hopefully not.
getting to see Riri and Natalie kind of like the way that they communicate
Mm-hmm.
and figure things out. Like
You like
honestly,
it?
to me, I do because
Mm-hmm.
like anytime that I find like a girlfriend that I'm really like we're digging each other, like sometimes we go through that, right?
Right.
During the
Right.
first beginning steps of really learning to know somebody, like it's not going to be immediately be like, yeah, we're great, you know?
Right.
So I don't know. And then sometimes you have those friends that you've been friends with for a long time. Sometimes you have a little falling out, but then like the two of you really want to be friends. So you push through it and it's going to have those awkward parts. So I
Right.
don't know, like that's exactly how it feels like to me.
Right.
Um,
Well,
but
maybe
I
that.
don't know.
Like I'm saying, like maybe they will, like and I think that's where they're heading. They're going to sync up and learn how to work perfectly together. It's just I don't know. I wish obviously I don't want her to be like a robot AI, by no means, and be very computed. But like she's almost for an AI that was mimicked off her memories or whatever. It's almost like to an AI. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like
Okay.
I don't know what I'm trying to say, but Like I said, I'm enjoying it. I think it's a fun side quest. I just wish I don't know. It's, like I said, we've only seen the first half, so I'm super anxious for Tuesday to get here and sit down and watch the last three,
Yeah.
and all of this. I am.
So Blake's thoughts is it's a side quest. Tay thinks it's a story that's gonna lead
Yeah.
to somewhere
Well, yeah.
that
I just
you know.
yeah. Well, I at this moment it feels like a
Yeah.
fun side quest. Like by the end
No.
of it, I want us to feel like I know they don't want the shows to be as tied in, but still tied into the movies.
Hmm.
But I
Yeah.
think a lot of these characters are just that have these shows are just as important as people have the movies, and like that's one thing we love about the MCU is the continuity. So like I don't know, it's halfway through. It's just halfway
Yeah.
through.
No,
So
I wasn't trying to let me clarify. I wasn't trying to dig on your thoughts. I'm just saying right
oh
now,
no,
this
yeah,
second, this
yeah,
is what we think.
mm-hmm,
And like I want to see what our thoughts are if they change and evolve
right.
from where we are right now,
Oh, I'm
when
praying
it
that they do.
ends.
uh, but speaking of side quest, Marvel's not done with Clinton Martin yet. Talks for Hawkeye season 2 are still heating up. So what? Got some news about Clint?
Yeah, so I'm honestly happy that they're back in talks with Jeremy Renner. Just because like I think that uh he definitely deserves his, flowers, if you will.
Yes.
Like I think that like with them giving him half of the money to do an entirely new season where he's having to work more and having to put more effort in because of what he's gone through in his personal life, like I think that it's great that they're still talking with him and still talking about doing a Hawkeye season 2, which is I think great.
Yeah. No, I give this man the money. He just wants the same money. I don't care if he's got less parts. The man deserves that money after what he's been through. But
Yeah.
I mean, what I love about Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye is he started out in Avengers, the first Avengers movie. That's when we get him. I mean, Hawkeye was nothing but a peak. He's a peak human. That a lot of people don't care for and has nowhere near the powers of anybody else. But he's became such a fan favorite, just because of. I mean, let's be honest. Jeremy Renner brought a lot of that, to the screen and to life,
Yeah.
and I think I don't want to see him done yet. Like I want to see this guy back as our Hawkeye, and I
Mm,
love him and Haley Steinfeld's chemistry back and forth as mentor, and him like helping her and stuff. And I still think she needs that. Maybe not as heavy as we've seen, because she's probably as by now she should be teamed up and doing something with Ms. Marvel as she was approached. But I would still love to see him slightly doing some mentoring for her because he is a super logical without even thinking, sacrificing good leader, even though he's never been in one of those leadership roles.
yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. And like I don't know. Like I don't know if it's part of me that's just like there is no Hawkeye without Jeremy Renner. But
Yeah.
I don't honestly I agree with what you said and I don't think that Hawkeye would be as what it is now if
hmm
Jeremy Renner didn't have his flair that he brings to the
Right.
role, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. What you say? The better sorted out with Jeremy. Come on now, he's the closest thing to a real Avenger. And Kate. Yeah, pretty much what we said. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Um, so Ultron isn't finished in the MCU. It's not just Vision Quest apparently, but where could he strike next?
I'm
So
so excited.
I am.
I don't know if I'm just like riding the high right now of Iron Man or Ironheart, sorry,
Yeah.
where I'm just like, oh man, like they're picking it up. It's when everybody was like, oh, Marvel's dead, because we had Captain Marvel and the Marvels and you had Secret
Invasion.
Wars, no, Secret Invasion, thank you.
Yeah.
Um and a lot of people didn't really enjoy where the Marvel, the universe was
The
headed.
Marvel regime.
This is to put my crown. But what I think is like really cool is that we are getting back to like, okay, where did Ultraman go? Because we got to see his head, the eyes glowed. All right, he's not dead. And he's AI, right? So like what happens here? So I'm excited to see where they take this, and I like that they have James Spader coming back and actually voicing the role, and because he's very iconic as much
Ah,
as anybody is, you
yes.
know.
That's exactly the word I was about to say. Like, I'm so excited that James Spader's coming back because the man has such an iconic voice, and
Uh-huh.
like, he has such a witty, sarcastic charisma about him that like, it's very nobody can really match that, right? I mean, there's other people out there like with their own take of
Yeah,
witty charisma, but like James Spader really sets himself aside as his own, and I absolutely am so ready to hear his voice back on screen as Ultron, and I'm curious to
yeah,
see what kind of evolution of Ultron we get back on screen, or
yeah.
is it going to be, kind of semi the same Ultron we had before, and him back onto some kind of mission to figure out another way to make it work, or are we
Mhm.
going to see him evolve into something completely we've never seen on screen before? So I don't know. I'm excited to see him like when we know he is coming back in Vision Quest, but to hear
Yeah.
that they're not even going to be done with him in Vision Quest, it's going to move on. I'm like, okay, because like Ultron to me should be one of those villains that every once in a while is pulling some strings in the background, every once in a while is on the forefront because it's almost impossible to kill him. I mean, there's always somewhere that he could bury himself in technology, and always survive.
Yeah, he's like the Hydra dude that lives in the computer.
Yeah, yep, the little guy.
What is
I'm,
his
I'm
name?
trying to think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. But like yeah. Because I like every time that I think of James Spader,
uh huh,
I think of The Office where he plays Robert
yeah.
California. And like and the he's so iconic. Like he has no way. Oh, thank you, AD. Sola.
Zola, yeah.
That's the
I
I'm
can't.
like sitting here and I was like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, also another like to me one of my favorite things to watch James Spader in because he has that sarcastic, witty charisma like as Ultron is the Blacklist. If you've not watched the Blacklist, it is so good, and you get to see him. I mean, be completely himself as the main character in that. Have you seen it?
I don't think
Oh my
so.
God, you have to watch it. It is so good. He literally is one of the FBI's most wanted for decades. He turns himself in and agrees to only to work with a single FBI agent. That is her first day, the day he turns her in. And it's super mystery. And there's like this, it's so good.
Super
It's
mystery.
yeah, super mysterious. Yeah, but anyways, it's really good. I highly
Okay.
recommend the Blacklist.
Okay.
But the Young Avengers might not show up the way we expected. Marvel's cosmic saga could start with Champions.
Yeah. And in this they said that they're gonna really focus on Hulkling and that he's like gonna be one of the pillars of the upcoming comic saga, which I think is really interesting because we haven't seen Hulkling
Yeah,
really yet. We've had the rumbles and the grumbles of it, and we don't really know exactly who all they're going to be putting into this Champions TV series.
mm.
But I don't know. Like I'm interested to see how this goes. I don't know if I'm as excited as the Ultron and the Ironheart,
Right,
but
right.
I think that I'm just interested to see really where this is going and if they're going to make it like a kid-y TV show or if
Right.
they are because like they're now in their teens rather than Young Avengers is usually, I guess,
Well,
smaller
well, no.
kid.
Usually the Young Avengers are in their teens, but now a lot of
Okay.
these Young Avengers we have are becoming in their early 20s. So
Hmm.
you know, it's slightly a heads up, but still younger than the 30 to 50 year olds that we're used to seeing on a regular Avengers team. So I guess they could still call them Young Avengers because they're still youngins. But
You mean to say that in Breakfast Club, the kids that were actually playing the teenagers that were in high school weren't actually
right,
teenagers?
right. Well, I mean, and some of them still are teens, right? I mean, some of them still are teens, and we don't know like when this starts, where that time is going to be taking place. But we
Yeah.
have some of them that are still pretty young. We have Kate Bishop, obviously who's out of high school, and I think she's around 20 or 21, maybe
Hmm.
22 in this now. But some of them are still young, so I don't know. I'm
Yeah, because
excited for this.
you have Wiccan.
Hmm.
We
Yeah, and
don't
he's
really
out of
know what
school,
his age is, but yeah, I mean he was unless they're trying to say that that was during Agatha all along was
summer vacation.
when yeah. So yeah, so that's why I was just like I don't know where he's at in
Yeah.
his
I think he's
time
around
span.
17 or 18 at that time. I think it's like right at 18. I could be wrong because we see. Oh no. I think it's I think it's around 18 or 19 where he's at now.
Okay.
Because when we see the flashback for his bar mitzvah thing, wasn't that his 16th birthday?
I think a bar mitzvah is 16 or maybe 15. I could be wrong.
I can't either. But no, I think there's a lot of people that's going to be excited about this because we also heard that they may not even we've gotten so many key characters to do a Young Avengers or Champions, and then we had talks that maybe Marvel's not going to. Now this is back in the limelight again. And there's a lot of people who want to see this. I know LJ from Bleeding Rainbow Comics. He's probably super ecstatic about this because he's a big. I think that's what he said his favorite comic line was Champions or Young Avengers. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean we have practically everybody introduced to do this, so why not? I just hope
Yeah.
that if they do this as a TV series, on Disney Plus, that they don't hold back and make sure like the CGI and stuff's good, especially if you're going to throw somebody like Hulkling in there. Like we
Hmm.
don't need some put in the time and effort that y'all did for the Hulk and we'd be okay. But yeah, don't cut corners on the CGI and don't rush your artist.
Yeah, and Jamie in the comments had said that Miss Marvel is in high school too, right? I'm
Yes,
pretty
yes,
sure
she
that she
is.
is. Yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
I think she's like 16 or 15 right now, or
I think
16.
she's the youngest one out of all
Mm-hmm.
of them.
Yeah, and I mean, if they continue on with passing on T'Challa's mantle to his son, he will be probably the youngest one because I think right now in MCU he's probably like 12, and we don't know by the time that this comes out he may be 16, 17, but I don't know.
No.
But she played Death once, and Marvel's bringing her back. Aubrey Plaza's return could mean something huge, and we could see her in a lot more features.
I love Aubrey Plaza. I can't wait to see her in more things. I'm glad that she is getting back out there after
Mm,
her personal life things happened.
right,
Um, so like I'm really excited to see her back on the screen because I love her. Like I I
definitely.
when I'm like thinking of like who I am as a human being, I'm like, okay, I'm weird, I'm quirky, I have like a little bit of a dark sense of humor. She is that. Like she
Hmm.
is my role model of who I want to be when I grow up. Um, so I'm excited to see her coming back as Lady Death, or Death or whatever they call her now.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm
but
super
yeah,
excited. I
yeah,
loved her like when they did that last. I think it was the last episode, and then you get to see that skull, and she had like part of that skull face, and then come find
yeah.
out like a lot of it wasn't CGI. It was actually practical effects, real prosthetics. I thought that was a cool look. I'm interested to see where else we see her pop up next. Like,
Yeah.
where do you, if it made sense to you, or maybe it don't have to make sense, but like, where would you like to see her pop back up in a
You know
future
what?
project?
Bring her into Doomsday. We got all these people coming into Doomsday. Come
Yeah.
come on. Just come on into Doomsday. Just
What do you
show
think
it.
she would do in Doomsday? Because like
I don't know, and
she's
I don't care.
just put a face on the screen.
I don't know. I love her. I want to see her all the time. But I don't know. Maybe she's like, maybe working with Doctor Doom. I don't really know much about the comics though, so I don't
Right.
know how much I can speak on this and how,
Sure.
um, like if Victor Von Doom and Lady Death have ever like actually like teamed up or
Hmm.
done anything together. I don't know. Um,
You know what I'd love to see?
what?
And this is a play from the comics because like she had her fling with Thanos in the comics. She also had her fling with Deadpool. And Deadpool, is rumored to be in Avengers Doomsday. I would love to see like Ryan Reynolds Deadpool like go hit on her, like they cross paths, and she like just shut them down real quick. They, like
Okay.
don't give them a fling or a thing, but like
Yeah.
just some freaking hilarious comical uh meetup that them two have like
Oh yeah, because she
passing by.
like because Aubrey Plaza, she's like super spicy and
Yeah,
and
and so is
acting
Ryan
all
Reynolds.
along. Yeah, but so here's the thing too is that we don't know
Right?
that like Ryan Reynolds is doing anything with Deadpool again.
No, we
Like he
don't.
might be
It's just heavily
done with
rumored
it or
that
yeah.
it's heavily rumored more that Hugh Jackman, the Wolverine's, going to be in it. But I almost feel like if he's going to be in it, Deadpool's going to be riding those coattails behind because them two are kind of like a pair, kind of like Daredevil and Punisher.
Oh, what if instead of Ryan Reynolds that she flirts with, what if it's Wolverine and she makes the ab little reference that like Deadpool and Wolverine
Yeah.
did?
I would
Where
love I would love to see Ryan Reynolds have the hots for her and get jealous because she wants nothing to do with him and she actually wants Wolverine. And like
ooh.
just another thing to keep their little feud, his and Wolverine's feud going because he's jealous of Wolverine now because the woman he wants is attracted to you.
Yeah, because like Ryan Reynolds, like him as Deadpool in Deadpool and Wolverine, he made Hugh Jackman's actual divorce
Yeah,
like
yeah,
actually in the MCU.
yeah.
So like if that's the case, and
Oh my god.
she's done with Agatha, like who knows? I don't
Yeah.
know.
No,
That's really funny.
that would be hilarious. I think that little thing right there we just mentioned that like that should be a little thing just slightly put in there for comic relief, but people would love that, I think.
Hmm. That would
But
be great. Yeah.
yeah. But Marvel just dropped the Final Fantastic Four trailer, and there's also a little clip with Herbie, who might have stolen the spotlight from the final trailer because of how great this small movie clip is.
So, I watched the trailer and I watched the clip. Honestly, like I'm really enjoying that clip. There's like pieces of the actual final trailer that I was like, okay, that's cute. Yeah, all right, cool. I'm still excited. I'm still ready to go see it. But
Yeah,
the Herbie the Herbie goes to the theaters or to the movies. It was just so cute because he's just like beep bopping, he's just
yeah,
like and I was just like, oh,
yeah.
it's
It makes
adorable.
you really want one.
Yeah.
And also, like, it makes me wonder too. Like, I'm just curious to see how much of a role Herbie plays in this because, like, we know he's gonna be, or it's I don't even know what Herbie is. It's gonna be like all through there, right? And I'm gonna if it's gonna be more for comic relief or if there is gonna be a larger meaning and role for that character. I'm super excited to find out
Yeah.
because like I don't know because you do see that part of the trailer. Well, in this final trailer where Herbie kind of like throws his hand over Franklin to try to like protect him, and you see the silhouette of Galactus coming over them, and so it's like, dang, what situation would be where Herbie is left to take care of Franklin and the Fantastic Four is nowhere around, and then you see Galactus coming up, overlooking them. I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a huger part and role that's super important, and not so much as a comic relief side character that's through the movie.
I don't even remember seeing that in the trailer, but now I'm thinking
Hmm.
of like the fact that like we're getting Herbie as like the snack, the all around snack transport, right? Where he
Yeah.
opens up his like innards
Yeah.
and you can you can put his like the popcorn, the candy and a drink, I think is like the things that you can hold in there. But what if
Right.
they show that during the actual movie and he opens it and he tries to put the baby inside? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That would
I
be
thought of that
interesting.
like as you're
Yeah.
like he's like
Yeah.
protecting. I was like, what if he just like tries to hide him?
And
I don't know.
hope there's a oxygen port in there to keep pumping oxygen
Well, maybe
in a way to keep the baby from being jostled around.
I don't know. Franklin has his own powers, so like maybe he doesn't need to be worried about being
Right.
jostled around. I don't know. I
Yeah.
just thought that was like really funny if that was uh
That would be
the
crazy.
case.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know because they have it open, so like clearly.
So also, I thought it was pretty neat, and I'm curious to see like why he has it. But to seeing Ben Grimm have a beard while Johnny Storm is carrying him, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool because that's not something
Yeah.
you hear a lot of people talk about. And there's a couple of different comic lines where you see Ben Grimm have a beard, and one of those comic lines is where Ben Grimm is like way into the future, and so it's like I don't know. It just makes me wonder, and maybe I'm thinking too much into this, but like what would this like why would he have a beard or is there a Ben Grimm from the future that comes into this just for a moment? I don't know, there's so many crazy
Yeah.
things, but
Um,
have you ever thought about like him shaving that beard, him have like a hammer and a chisel like
you need a
Flintstones?
chisel, yeah. I
Yeah.
was just like, you can't shave it. Like,
Yeah,
shave is a whole different word. Yeah, no,
right.
it's a sculpt. He would
Yeah,
sculpt the
sculpt
beard
his face.
off.
Yeah.
But like my favorite part about like this trailer was really when Johnny was like riding on his back, kind of like flying him to
Yeah.
wherever, and he kept on saying "say it,"
Yes, yes.
and like during the dinner scene or whatever, Johnny looked at Ben Grimm and was like, "Hey." what time is it? And Ben Grimm was like, it's dinner time. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, what's
how
great
dare
too
you?
is what's great is also I guess like he doesn't like saying it. He says in the trailer, he's like, "That's just from the cartoons or whatever," you know.
Yeah, from the comics, yeah.
Well, yeah, was
Or
it? I
TV
think
show?
no, yeah, maybe it's a TV show. It's a cartoon or a TV show. I think it's a
Yeah.
kids' cartoon show of them. And he's like, "That's
Okay.
just in the cartoons or whatever," which I thought was cool because Ben Grimm did say it a few times in the early comics, but where it was heavily used and Ben Grimm got really known for saying that was in the old Fantastic Four cartoons here in real life. So it's
Mm.
really cool to have him say that. It'd be kind of a callback to that. But yeah, I don't know. I love it. Absolutely.
But if he mentions it in the movie and he's actually talking about what you're thinking about, then those MCU or those like Fantastic Four
Hmm.
cartoons are now canon in the MCU as well. So it's okay.
One last thing, kind of wraps us up with Marvel, but still Fantastic Four is was John Malkovich just erased from Fantastic Four? Rumors are swirling. Do you
Hmm.
think that he was erased, or do you think it's going to be a surprise cameo?
Well, I mean, well, no, because we saw him in his like long flowy hair
Right,
beard thing. So if he was in Fantastic Four, that's what he would be playing, and that's what we
but we
thought
don't
was
know
going to be
who though.
happening. No, we don't know who that is, but like we haven't heard or seen anything since then, and I don't know. Like I feel like maybe he got yeah, that picture with the beard and the hair.
Yeah,
But like I don't know, man. Like maybe John Malkovich actually did get cut because after they're like looking at I don't know, um whatchamacallit? Like maybe I just brain dumped. Oh, the showings where the people see the early viewings.
the screens, the screenings.
Screens, thank you.
Yeah.
We eventually got there. But what if like during that time they were like, this is just too much, or like this doesn't
Right.
make any sense to have in this movie? Like maybe they cut him out.
I got a theory though, and this is all crazy off the wall theory, but it kind of plays into my wondering about Ben Grimm with the beard, right? So
Hmm.
what if that is a futuristic Reed Richards he's playing from a futuristic from another universe, and then that Ben Grimm is also from the future with the beard, and there's just a moment because we're talking about black holes, right? You talked about the scene where it was seen where Reed tells him to go into a black hole. Drive into it anyways. You never know where those can go. He's also on the chalkboard in these trailers, obviously showing multiverse jumps. We obviously
Yeah.
know they're coming into the MCU's multiverse. So what if in this movie there's a moment where they jump into another universe future that's even further in the future, and you get an older Ben Grimm, and then that's an older Reed Richards. Obviously, they're not going to be a big part of the movie, but it's just like a scene. Because I don't think
Well,
John Malkovich is going to be a huge part.
what if to go off of your theory that he is an older Reed Richards, but we're supposed to be getting the Council of Reeds,
Right, right.
and maybe that's where he shows up.
Yeah, that's very possible. There's so many possibilities. So many possibilities, but I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I'm
You saying
excited
that
for
made
this
me think.
movie. It's almost here. We're literally a month out from this, like 4 weeks out from this.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, le less than that because it's July 25th and it's 29th right now.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Super
yeah,
excited. Almost here. But you ready to hop into some DC?
let's go.
So David Cornsweet admits the Superman suit got a little too real.
Yeah. I read the article where he said that he got like claustrophobic in the actual suit itself, and I was just like, huh. I had never actually heard of someone like getting claustrophobic in their clothes, but I was just like, that's a really interesting topic, and I'm like so glad that like he actually like came out and said it and wasn't like trying to hide it or anything.
Right.
But yeah, I was like, oh, okay, well, I wonder
Yeah.
how like massive that suit is, and like why does it make you feel that way, you know?
Well, I'm wondering too if it's just like how some people struggle with claustrophobia and stuff, and those suits are pretty form fitting, and I'm sure like it's not the lightest suit by no means. So I bet with it just being so tight and then probably having some weight to it, I could only imagine it's almost probably like wearing a tight weighted blanket. especially with the cape. I mean, that cape's going to add a lot of weight just right there on the back
Mm,
drag of walking around.
yeah.
But Matt Reeves missed a script deadline, but James Gunn had a message for the fans and the haters, and then just a few days later, the script was announced that it was complete.
Yeah. And I mean, Batman 2, everybody's been holding off on this and really wanting to know when this is supposed to be coming out because we've had it pushed back, I think, 3 times now.
Right.
And James Gunn has really defended Matt Reeves and was just like, y'all need to get off his balls, I think is the exact
Yeah, I
words
think
that
that's
he
what he
had
said.
said.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, all right. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I love that, like, they're standing up for each other. Um, but who knows? And AD said in the comments, capes can be dangerous. Incredibles taught us that. That
This
is
is
that is
very
very much
true. This is
true.
very true. But
No capes.
yeah, after James Gunn said that, and like people were, have been going back and forth giving Matt Reeves crap. Literally, this was posted right here, and it's Matt Reeves and the writer in the background with them, with this showing that the script's completed. So it's completed, and so we know, as James Gunn said, nothing will start filming till the script's complete. So we know what's next. So that means that this should be starting to film, I believe, in December,
Okay.
right
I
after
thought
Robert.
October.
It may be. Last I read was it was going to start filming in December because Robert Pattinson then will be done with doing his stuff with the Odyssey.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. I mean, yeah. I mean, unless they start taping
Other
some of the
people's roles,
scenes with
yeah,
yeah, without him being in it, like who knows how they I don't know how they do the movie things. I don't know.
yeah. And
Um,
well, some films make it a a priority to shoot in sequence, but majority of films don't. So I mean, I think that's very possible if they wanted to push filming, like you're saying, before that, and just do Robert Pattinson's when he's ready.
mhm. Yeah. Or maybe Robert Pattinson doesn't need all of the time until the end of that taping,
Right.
and can start like maybe all of his scenes are done with Odyssey and can start doing uh, Batman 2.
Yeah. James Gunn, though, just also teased Ultraman again, but with a single image. And it's an image that we've not really seen Ultraman out of the ones that we've seen.
Yeah.
But I'm curious what this, like, why he looks like this. Because we've seen the photos of him not tattered, not worn down, escorting Superman with cuffs on and stuff. And it looks pristine, clean, black. And that, I mean, that looks like an Ultraman from the future, or that Ultraman's been through some hell right there.
Or
And
maybe
there's,
like yeah.
yeah,
No,
what do
sorry,
you
go ahead.
think? No, no, I was gonna ask what, like, literally, what do you think about this? Because there's so many also rumors swirling around about who is Ultraman, because nobody knows who's playing him.
Yeah. So I was like in my mind when I saw this photo, I was like, dude, this is like a World War II looking like mask,
Hmm.
snout, if you will. Um, and like maybe he was going through the Chernobyl happened, and what was Chernobyl again? It was the nuclear
Yeah, that. Yeah.
power plant thing,
Hmm.
right? Um, so like that's the kind of like masks and stuff we saw during that time. So like that's where I'm like maybe this is his birth. And
Right.
then he turns into what we have been seeing in trailers. I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
it's interesting because I'm like, all right, so are we kind of getting like a little bit of a side quest, if you will, of like his beginnings to, or is this like a flashback that we got to see of him and what he was to what he has now become and has a underlining reason as to why he is the way he is now. I don't know.
Yeah. So my theory is that it's not a flashback or anything from the past. I think so. We get to see a very vague still shot like in an underground tunnel with his mask ripped off, laying on the ground, and the rumor is that this is an evil clone of Superman. All right.
Hmm.
And some rumors are saying that Henry Cavill's playing this evil clone of him, actually, which
No.
yeah, and then some people say it's David Cornsweet. I don't think it's David Cornsweet though. Whoever's playing it, because when you see that picture of him in the tunnel, I mean, he's way bigger than David Cornsweet. He looks more like a Henry Cavill build, to be honest. But I
Mm,
think him and Superman get into such a huge fight, and like during that underground tunnel, so there's no telling what they've been through to get down to that. And I think
mm,
this is a scene from him and Superman, like in this just huge ongoing fight, and this is like what he looks like after they've been through probably all kinds of debris and all kinds of stuff. But I don't know. It would be wild if James Gunn kept it all a secret and then had Henry Cavill play an evil clone of Superman, and it was him. That would be insane.
That that would be good. That
Yeah.
would be a good nod.
I
I would
hope that
enjoy
would be
that.
true. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, especially because we have Henry Cavill that played the Calvarine, right?
Right,
Now
right.
he's playing Ultra. Like, I don't know, man.
Well,
That's
I would love it too because you have all these Snyderverse fans out here just shitting on James Gunn's Superman, right? And I would love to see that are huge Cavill fans, and I would love to see Henry Cavill like do this role because it's really him embracing James Gunn's new, being part of it and stuff.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love that. I think people would literally shit themselves.
All right. Well, are you ready to get into some Star Wars?
Let's do it. So, from Madam Web to a galaxy far, far away, Dakota Johnson may be headed to Star Wars, and when I read this, it made me cringe.
Yeah. Honestly, because I'm just like, why? Why are we doing this? Like, so we watched, AD and I watched Suspiria, over the weekend, and because he was like, I need to rewatch it, and I was like, all right, cool, put it on. So we were watching it, and I was like, wait a second, that's Dakota Johnson. Okay, so she's always been this like gangly, like long extremities type like gal. I mean nothing against her or whatever, but I don't
Her
know. I don't know what they could do with this. Her acting, no.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, like even in the I didn't care for her in the 50 Shades series movies. Like I didn't think her acting was good in the 50 Shades series. And then obviously, you're gonna have the catastrophe Madam Web was, and bring that main star of people not liking it, and bring her into Star Wars when you're trying to bring Star Wars back up. I don't think this is a good choice. Now, mind you, she's not officially cast for anything, so this could change. But oh man, when I read this, I'm like, no, please, no, please. No.
Yeah, this is one of the ones that I hope that Daniel Rickman is wrong about.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
like what would you even, why? I can't even make full sentences about this. That's how I'm like,
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
So, 30 limited edition Coke cans. Disney Star Wars collab is refreshing the galaxy in a whole new way. And I'm not a big soda drinker, but damn it, I love Coke, and they literally are going to get me back to drinking sodas again.
So, I thought this was really interesting because they have like if you look it up online, like Coca-Cola, it's like Coca-Cola X Star Wars, like, and then like Refresh Your Galaxy, I think is like the whole collab name. And I'm like, okay, well, there isn't anything coming out recently, so this is kind of like out of the blue, I guess.
Yeah.
But
it's a weird
there's
time.
like the whole. Yeah, so there
Yeah.
is 30 like limited edition, very much apparently limited edition Coke cans. And online you can find out what exactly all of those Coke cans are, but there are 3 that are exclusive, straight up exclusive to just Disney. Like you have to go to a Disney park in order to get these 3 Coke cans. Yeah. One is I think a Chewbacca. And I was like, damn it, that would be like the one that I'd be like, that's what I want.
I see. I will say one thing I miss about these projects like Star Wars and superheroes and stuff. Back in the day, like when we were growing up, they did like soda collaborations on Coke cans all the time. Dr. Pepper had one with Spider-Man. They had a Star Wars collab with I think Pepsi products at one because they were on like Pepsi's, Mountain Dews, and stuff like that. And it was just like this. And so I don't think they've ever done a collab with Coke before, but I don't know why they're doing this. Like you said, it's weird timing, but I like it when they do this. I don't know. Something just makes me happy when I walk into a gas station and I see all these fan favorite characters on soda cans.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so many of them, and so it's not just all just regular Coca-Cola. They have Coke Zero and Diet Coke, I think, are a couple of the other ones too. And I mean, if you look it up online, it tells you all the breakdown as to like, oh, if you're looking for this character, you need to get this can.
Hmm.
And then that way at least it narrows your search. Unless you just want all of them, then God bless you and good luck.
That's a lot. That's a lot. 30 cans.
Yeah, and especially because you have to go to a Disney park in order to get some of them. Or if you wait for like somebody to, or if you have a friend that goes or whatever, because there are Disney adults out there. But they're probably also going to be on eBay once this collab is done because it's a limited
Oh yeah,
edition.
yeah. You know they're going to
Like,
be.
oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
there's no telling what kind of price people are going to try to gouge and get out of this.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it all depends on what can it is and how much there is a demand for that can.
Right. Last Star Wars news we have, but don't expect the Rogue One magic again. Gareth Edwards is officially out of the next Star Wars chapter.
I I like his reasoning behind it is because he like did his job, his thing that he wanted to do. He came to the Star Wars universe to do this and he did amazing and he's like, "Cool, I'm
Mm,
leaving on a high note. I'm not gonna like
yeah,
drag this in the mode and I'm gonna go do some other things now." So, I'm happy that like he decided like he knows what he wants out of life
yeah.
kind of thing is
Well, I'm
what
gonna
I'm
be
trying
honest
to
with
say.
you. Like the fan of me is like, damn, But then, like, thinking of it from a business perspective, I'm like, this is smart. This man is already holding the unofficial title of what a lot of people are calling the best Star Wars movie ever. And why take a chance of it not, of like tainting that title you've been
Yeah,
given by the fans
yeah,
to where you're like, I'm out. Like you said, on a high note, and like
yeah,
I made one of the best Star Wars movies ever, and I'm not going to do anything to ever take a chance of losing that title. I ain't gonna lie. From a
yeah,
business and reputation perspective, I think that's so smart. But it is sad
yeah.
at the same time because I would love to see this guy do some more.
And he will be, but just not with the Star Wars stuff. And I'm
Right.
like I don't know if it's like with you too, but like sometimes like we saw it the other day, AD and I we were just like sitting there and watching movies, but this is one of those movies like Rogue
Hmm.
One where you can watch it time and time again and every
Yeah.
single time that you watch it, you're like, "Oh, maybe this time.
Yeah.
Maybe this time they'll make it."
You're still rooting for
Nope.
them every time. Yeah.
Every time.
And every time
Every
you're like,
time.
oh.
Yeah, you're
And it's
in
like,
your heart
and
feels
you
like
act
it's
like it's unexpected. You're like, I think they can do it. I think they can make it this time.
yeah, like not that this movie has already been done and taped.
Yeah.
No, like it completely takes you out of that realm of possibility that this is a
Mm,
set and done movie where it gets you, and that's why I really do like the movies that get me like involved, like get my
right.
emotions involved, because then now
Yes.
I'm like invested. I'm invested in it, and that will always be one of those movies.
Yes. And it doesn't hit you because you still like cling on to that hope until the beach scene where they're holding each other. And you're like, damn it,
Yeah,
again.
now I'm just like tears,
Yeah.
just waterfall. Oh.
Oh.
I don't want to be seen for the next 5 days.
Well, that wraps up with Star Wars. Let's jump in some educated wish.
Let's go.
I seen you add this to the list, and this one just made my heart happy. After 30 years, Dolly Parton's heading back to Vegas, and she's bringing the rhinestones with her.
Yeah, she's coming back to Las Vegas to do her first show since 1993. If you're ever in the Vegas area, you have a place to stay if you need to come and crash and go and watch this, because
Yeah,
I'll
I
go with
might.
you. I'll go
I,
with.
I actually no lie. I've never seen her, and she's one of those like you never. Hate to say this, you never know how much longer she's going to be around, right? Uh, but like for her age, she gets around really, really well, and
Mhm.
I think I'm going to try to make an attempt to come see her because you just never know when she may retire too. I mean, it's been 30 years
Yeah,
since she's been to Vegas.
yeah.
And like you said,
Um,
I know some people with an extra room, so that cuts out my hotel costs.
it definitely does, and you're driving because we
If
have
you
cars.
go, oh my God, yes.
So all I'm saying is all you gotta, is the plane and the ticket to go and see
That would
her.
be
So,
a core memory if I can get y'all to attend Dolly Parton concert
oh,
with
I don't
me.
know if that's an AD thing, but I would be down to go. Because I know some of her songs, but I
Yeah.
don't
Well, like
I don't
even
know.
if country's not like your thing, like people, I think, in music in general, still respect the icon in the music industry she is and what she's built
Mm,
and done with her, her career.
yeah.
Something you probably got super excited about, but is Greek epic, R rating, and possibly a trailer before Jurassic World. The Odyssey could be the dark horse of 2026.
So happy. You sent me the poster and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, it's so good. I mean, like it's as simple as possible. It's very Greek. It's very there's a war and there's just like the Greek
Mm.
like little bosom like head thing that you just see. Like the bust is what I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
not bosom.
Well, I'm also
But
going to say, forgive me. I got so in a hurry, and I actually didn't put the poster in here to show.
no, that's fine. That's
But
fine.
go to our
I just
Facebook page.
It is out there. Yeah. So like the God, it's good. And I know that a lot of people try to steer away from an R rating just because that means that like kids can't like go and see it
Hmm.
and it shortens the audience that you can have. But I think that the Odyssey is very dark tale. Um and it is filled with hope, but there are some like dark shit that happens.
Well, I think some movies
So
like that, what you're explaining, like they have dark stuff happen, or it's real important for not to veer from that original storyline. I think
yeah.
there's certain ones that need that R rating no matter what, just so
Yeah,
you
and I
kind of
think
keep
that
close to that lore.
yeah, this is one of them. I don't know if it's so much the language that they use, but it's probably got a decent bit of gore.
Right.
Or violence really
Sure.
too, and that's what usually tends the R rating to be R rating, right? So I am happy for this, but if we're getting this ahead of the Jurassic World Rebirth, like that's July 2nd. That is
Yeah.
next weekend.
Yeah.
Holy
I,
cow, that's next weekend, you
I
know?
can't wait to see your reaction when the first teaser trailer drops of this.
And I'm probably going to be in that theater, like, and I'm going to see it if it does actually drop at the same time as that movie drops,
Oh yeah.
because I have tickets to go see it.
Right.
So I'm probably just going to just like look at it and I might tear up a little bit. I don't know. I love the Odyssey and I think Homer is like really great writer. Um, yeah, it's like my childhood comes to fruition as I become an adult, and because I kind of grew up like watching some of that, or not watching, but reading.
Right.
But the child kind,
Yeah. Yeah.
not like that art thou see where they no.
My your excitement's got me excited just to see this because of how excited you are. And like I didn't know a lot about this story until you kind of educated me, and I'm like, oh shit, that would be a good story. And like so, just
Yeah.
the idea of knowing what the storyline takes place of, and then your
hmm
excitement is enough to like make sure I'm going to see this opening day.
And the stacked cast. Oh my
Oh my
God, the
god,
cast is
yeah.
stacked.
Some of our favorites are in this.
Oh man, Zendaya is in it, and
John
Tom
Bertha,
Holland, John
yeah,
Berthel, Robert
Matt
Patterson.
Damon.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. I
There's
mean,
so
like
many.
the list is so long, and that's just to name a few off the cup. But yeah, I can't wait to see what this trailer looks like. I mean, we've seen so many set photos of like you've seen Matt Damon, you've seen John Berthel, and Tom Holland, and all of them are
Mm,
wearing like kind of like the traditional kind of like
right.
looking armor. That's very like iconic for that time, and I'm just like, oh my God, it looks so good.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
And I love too how we got to see those set photos where they're actually on a wooden boat, wooden ship on the
Yeah.
water, and they're filming. Like I was like, man, you don't get much more like in the moment acting, feeling realistic like that. Where a lot
Yeah.
of people just would have threw that with the CGI green screen and stuff.
Oh
And,
yeah.
and I'm like, man, like to be in that movie and to experience like how Christopher Nolan filmed it and the things they did, like I can't even imagine. I'm sure this is probably going to be one of his probably the most proud project he's done today, along with the cast as well.
Oh yeah. I can't wait because Christopher Nolan always has like that great iconic like
Right.
I mean just look at Batman with
Yeah.
what's his name? Ben Affleck? No.
Well, no, Christopher Nolan
No.
did the Dark Knight series with Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, thank you.
Woo! Yeah,
So I
words
was
are hard
like, that
today.
was the wrong
Names are hard
Batman.
today.
Yeah, but like, I mean,
Yeah.
that
Well, and
Batman was just like, it's so like it's dark and it's moody and it's like
right.
he's got a very great directing style, and then he always chooses, always, you can look up any Christopher Nolan like
Mm,
movie and his soundtrack
mm.
is always amazing.
Well, also, this is the
God,
first movie. It's 100% filmed in IMAX, right?
I don't
I
know.
think, yeah, I think like a few weeks ago we talked about like 100, like where some like scenes are or whatever, or I can't remember like what the proper term is, but like 100. This is the first movie. He set a record. This is the first movie that's filmed 100% like in the IMAX cinematography like setting with how you film it. I'm probably butchering how
Uh,
it's explaining this, but I think like this is the first time it's ever been done.
you're talking about the reel that they use when they film it,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
The
Okay.
type of camera and the way that they film it,
Yeah.
because there's a certain IMAX, way to do it.
Graphics?
I don't even know. I don't know. I am probably
Okay.
I know I'm slaughtering this, so I'm going to move on.
No.
But he sets a record by somehow doing the first film 100% in that filming style.
Yeah. Oh man. God. Ah.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
But Tron is lighting up Hall H. Disney bringing Tron Ares to San Diego Comic Con.
Yeah. So we had some news that San Diego Comic-Con, their Hall H isn't what it normally is. Marvel pulled back. DC is now pulling back. But you got Tron, and Tron thus far, like the trailer that we got is looked good.
It does.
I don't know. I'm excited to see kind of like what they do with it. If they actually like ride in on like electric motorcycles or something like that. I don't know. I think that would be really cool if they like fitted them out with like the lights and stuff and they rode them out onto
Yeah.
stage. I don't know.
I think any kind of like live interaction stuff or whatever they do for a crowd is going to be amazing just because like the visuals for Tron is so
Hmm.
futuristic but so beautiful with the lighting and the way they use lighting and colors. So I think it's going to be pretty sick whatever it is. Even if you're a
Oh
Tron
yeah.
fan or not, it's going to be impressive. Just like Tron rides, those are super sick. And like I think they're working on a new one if not or they just came out with a new one. I think we've talked about it here recently. But I don't know. There's a Tron ride done or being done out there, and like I'm not like a heavy Tron lore fan, but there's just something so visually appealing about Tron. Like, oh
Mm.
yeah, I'm here for it.
That's one of also my favorite soundtracks is the one that came out before Tron Legacy, I think is the
Mm-hmm.
one. Um the most recent one other than
Right.
now this one. Uh and I love that soundtrack. I got to see a marching band perform it, and when I tell you that I got goosebumps,
Really. Mm,
oh, oh, yeah.
nice. Squid Game season 3 just dropped. Does it live up to the hype or cross the line? Tay is going to give us her review and take on it.
So there are a lot of parts of it, like of Squid Game, season 3. It is the finale. It had like a bunch of new games, it had some like really sentimental kind of like parts to it because they knew it was ending. But like I don't know, like there were some like parts of it that like I very much knew were coming. Like I was like,
Mm,
yep, knew that was
sure.
coming. Like that if you were paying attention to any of Squid Game, like it very much you could have seen that coming a mile away. Um I think that they did it a good way of ending it, but I think that so I did read that they said that they were going to be doing a spin-off
Okay.
before this even came out, before Squid Game season 3 came out, like 3 or 4 days prior. During this week, they said, "Hey, we're going to be
Hmm.
doing a Squid Game spin-off. We're like looking into it."
Like
And the way
how would
that
you do a spin-off?
so if you watch Squid Game season 3, you would definitely see how they're lining up now because
Okay.
Kate Blanchett is at
She's
the
in it?
end.
What? I love Kate Blanchett. This is the woman that's going to bring me to watching this finally.
She has like 5 seconds at the end, but like yeah, if that's yeah. But like I very much can see how they would do a spin-off, and
Right?
I was like, oh God, like I thought it was done, and then all of a sudden they like the leader guy was like kind of like driving around and doing things to kind of finish up loose ends. and then you saw her, and I was like,
Does
what
her
the fuck?
does she say something?
Nope.
I was about to ask, how does her lips line up with the words being said?
Oh no, that's in English. But because no, she actually did say something, but
I was
she,
being sarcastic because
yeah, yeah, I know that's your main hang up, and
I hate that that's my hang up too.
no, it's okay. Everybody has their own pet peeves. Like,
Yeah,
like mine is being late and not
right.
using your turn signal. And like yours is like uh the lips and the audio don't line up. So,
Right. And
yeah, so
people
that's why I'm
chewing with their
always
mouth open. Cannot stand that.
I can't,
I,
yeah, yeah.
I literally I
Uh,
don't so like I feel like most things in life is like water on a duck's back to me, but literally what?
that is such a Middle Eastern thing. Not Middle Eastern, but like Midwest or whatever, like thing to
What?
say, you know what I mean?
But you get what I'm saying though, like because water,
No, I know
ducks are
exactly what
repellent,
you're,
so it rolls right off their back. Yeah.
yes, I know
Is
exactly
that
what you're
really
talking about.
Midwestern?
I
Oh
think
damn.
it is.
Okay.
That is not
Ugh.
like a normal saying.
All right. Well, I might stop saying that then. Anyways,
No.
uh, so yeah, like I don't know, like a lot of things just don't get under my skin. That's pretty common, right? Under my skin. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Uh, but like someone chewing with their mouth open or talking with their mouth full of food, it literally makes me just want to unalive myself. Like it's, ugh.
You can slap the back of their head, all the food
Oh
falls
yeah,
out, and there
yeah.
you go.
And might choke on it, like lesson learned. Anyways, guess that went a little dark. Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
But 28 years later, it's eating up the box office, and zombies haven't been this alive in years.
Yeah, I haven't seen 28 Years Later yet, but I've heard from their opening box office, like it took off, and
Yeah.
apparently this now second week is already starting to drop down,
Hmm.
unfortunately, but I think that's just because a lot of people that were really excited to see
Right.
it immediately went to go and see it.
The money
Uh
that it's made from the first two is like astronomically higher than the first two that made. After like the reviews and what a lot of people are saying about this, I need to rewatch the other two. I've seen the first one, but not the second one. But I want to see this in theaters. I hear it's like super grotesque and gruesome. Like it's,
well,
and
yeah, I mean
I
that
hear
makes
like it's
sense.
super emotional too. Like there's
Yeah,
some really emotional scenes in it. I've just heard really well done things about it in multiple aspects.
yeah.
But
I haven't really heard anything as
mhm.
to like I haven't looked at any of the reviews or anything on the count of that I'm afraid that's going to be spoiled. But yet again, I don't think I've even seen number one or two. I'm gonna be honest. So like this entire time I was like, oh okay, like no, I remember this being a thing, but
Right.
I never really like watched it.
Hmm.
And I think now, well, what I want to do is I'm probably going to watch them like on streaming, and then I'll wait for this other one to come to streaming
Sure.
because I'm not that invested in it.
Yeah, I'm not
Um,
super invested in it too. It's highly likely because July is abroad, and I think this will probably be. I eventually will watch it on streaming because there's
yeah.
too much to probably try to squeeze this into July.
So something that AD told me is Together is in July. It's supposed to come out in July.
Oh, I really want to see that, and I
And he
don't
does
think
too.
it's well, and I don't think it's one of those movies just like, ooh, I need to see this on the big screen. But it's one of those movies where, ooh, I don't want to wait till streaming, so that's why I'll go watch it on the big screen. I think I will try to squeeze that in like on a Tuesday. That's like one of the $7 movie days
Ah,
because I just don't want to wait that long to see it, and that's why.
yeah.
Because it looks super intriguing to me, super intriguing.
So in the comments, Chaz has said that 28 Years Later is a great movie, and that 28 Weeks Later has nothing to do with 28 Years Later. So I guess if you haven't seen the second one, which is
Oh, okay.
Weeks, um, you're in luck, I guess.
It's not necessary. Interesting.
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, maybe I'll squeeze this in on Tuesday too. I don't know. Uh, but Pixar just hit its worst box office ever. Leo is officially the studio's biggest flop,
Yeah.
and I hate to hear this. I really do because like the
Yeah.
trailer looks so cute. I love that it takes
Yeah.
place in space.
Hmm.
This is one I look forward to actually seeing on streaming. Um,
Yeah.
I hate hearing
And
this.
I think that this is kind of like one of those movies that we were talking about before that just kind of came out at a bad time
Yeah.
because Lilo and Stitch is still out, and you have How to Train Your Dragon that is still out, that is
Oh,
soaring
I
through the
did
box
not even
office.
think about that.
So
Yeah,
I think that
too much
for
competition.
a third kids movie to come out, like,
That makes sense.
yeah,
Maybe once it does come to streaming, we'll just see like some amazing streaming, views. Uh,
yeah,
but yeah, that makes sense. That is that's some heavy competition. It's got to fight for a new original.
yeah. The and I don't know, like I definitely did look forward to it. The movie did look super cute. It looked super bright and
Yeah.
colorful.
Well, the
Um,
visuals are great, like
oh
from the
yeah,
trailers.
yeah, yeah.
Scream 7 promises to break every rule and go where no horror sequel has ever gone.
I I'm like, okay, like I don't know. I feel like scary movies are scary movies, right?
Right?
There are like pieces of them, but it's a Scream movie, right? It's
Hmm.
Scream 7 at that. So I know that we do have the original director from 1, 2, and 3, I think, the Waynes.
Right.
So I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I feel like that they could figure something out. I don't know. I like their style of movies. I definitely do have to rewatch all of the Screams.
I would too.
Um,
And like I didn't care
because
about watching this latest one that came out. I didn't. But now
yeah,
that they're saying this, and this is probably why they're saying it, just because we're on the seventh installment of this series, and if we're going to
but that's
put
the
butts in
thing
seats, we need
too.
to get some, people talking.
I wonder if like Scream 7 is going to like really have anything to do with 6 because like it was the
Mm,
same director guy that did 1, 2, and 3, right? And then 4, 5, and 6 was someone else. So I'm like
okay.
wondering if 7 actually
They'll have to have some kind of tie-in, I think, if they're like this deep in the
have
installments, because they've all had tie-ins.
have they?
I think.
I don't know.
I'm not really kept up with the screams.
I don't know. I mean, like, with Pirates of the Caribbean, you have that, right?
Right, right.
With Marvel movies, you have that with some of their TV shows even.
You know who's not in the
Um,
Pirates of the Caribbean? Margot Robbie.
I
Inside joke.
mean,
Anyways.
I was gonna,
Yeah.
but like I wonder like how much this is going to be tied in, or if it's going to
Right.
be kind of like a Friday the 13th kind of thing where
Sure.
they aren't really as tied in, I feel. Um,
Well, Friday the 13th are all somewhat tied in, though.
oh, see, I don't even know. I don't even know. Don't listen to me.
Oh.
It's fine.
But Mobland is back for season 2. Paramount just greenlit more crime and chaos. This is a series that I've actually been meaning to watch that I haven't watched it just because of the cast.
Yeah, no, the cast looks absolutely amazing because Pierce Brosnan's the
And
one
Tom
that's in
Hardy.
it. Right, or Venom. And this literally had just come out. Like I don't think it's been out for a really long time yet.
Right. I think so.
And I think that like Paramount Plus saw like how well it was going to be doing or could do or how good the storyline was, and they were
Right.
like, "Cool, we're gonna do a season 2." So, um, I'm happy for them. And I don't, I don't even think I've seen a trailer for this. I'm gonna be honest for like
Yeah.
season 1, but
I,
the
I think
cast
I
is
have, but I
stacked.
don't remember it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Pierce
But
Brosnan and Tom Hardy, you put them two guys in anything. I really love both of them as an actor. So
yeah.
just because I don't even know 100% what the story is about. I mean, Mobland kind of tells you a lot right there.
And I
But
love mob movies, so I'm
I do
like,
too. But them two as acting, I love them as actors. So like, it's got to be
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But Fear is back, and this time Johnny Knoxville's the one laughing. I absolutely love this.
So remind me, who is Johnny Knoxville? Like what is he?
Jackass. He is the creator of Jackass.
Yep.
You know,
Totally have seen those.
have you or no?
No.
Oh, so Jackass is like him and Steve-O and like a whole group of guys, and they just go around doing
I know the
some of
premise.
the wildest things to hurt
Yeah.
themselves, and like it
Yeah.
was super popular. And then Johnny Knoxville, he did Bad Grandpa, which is hilarious. He literally, so like in Jackass, he would put on prosthetics and stuff and do things crazy in public, looking like an old man. Prosthetic looks super real. It was one of the most well-loved scenes that he was doing in Jackass. He made a movie about Bad Grandpa, and he's in prosthetics playing this guy's Bad Grandpa that's just like a gruesome, vulgar, obscene grandpa, and it's just a hilarious movie. But I think like if they're going to revamp Fear Factor and bring it back, I think
Yeah.
Johnny Knoxville or like Steve-O would be the perfect person to do this.
I grew up watching Fear Factor as a
Joe
kid.
Rogan.
And yeah, back before he was bald. So
And he was little then too.
yeah, he wasn't as buff. This is true.
Yeah.
But like I used to always love watching these, and like I would always think about like, could I do that?
Yeah.
Anything with the bugs? No. But there are like other things that I would do, but the eating, oh, ugh.
Yeah.
The eating of like the bull testicles and I don't
Yeah.
even know what else they were eating. It was disgusting.
So Fear
Like
Factor was one of
obviously,
yeah.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say Fear Factor is one of the shows that I never made it a point to watch when it always came on. But it was one of those shows that I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Like I think it's a cool idea, and like
Yeah.
randomly I would watch an episode here or there. It wasn't like, "Ooh, I'm a huge Fear Factor fan," but I think it's a good
Mhm.
idea for a show.
So, I used to watch it as a kid, and then there was in Universal Studios in Orlando, they had a Fear Factor show.
Mm-hmm.
So like we would randomly go to that. And I
Nice.
just really like the effects and the things
Yeah.
that they did with it. So I always thought that was cool.
So, 3 new parks, one massive expansion. Disney just revealed its vision through 2045. That's
Yeah.
20 years for you that's not really good at math. That's a long
Um,
expansion layout time.
yeah, but right now I think that they only have four. I could be wrong, but they have like four right now. And they have like a water park or something. So the the minor parks are either going to be like a water park or something that is on the smaller side. And
Uh-huh.
then for major parks, they're supposed to be between like 400 and like 550 acres.
Whew.
And so
That's
yeah, it's supposed to
large.
be on their bigger side. So like it's all coming to Orlando, and they already have the space for it.
Hmm.
Um, so like they have these plans, and they've been talking about these plans, and now I guess these plans are really underway because they put it in like one of their tax documents that they're actually doing it.
Hmm.
So I don't know, like I love Disney World. That's the only one that I've been to. Um, and I would definitely like would love to go back, but I don't know. That's a lot of parks.
That is a
The
lot.
fifth major park, which means that they have like one of the massive ones and then two small
Mhm.
ones. I've never really been like a water park person. Like
Same. Same.
I was when I was a kid,
Hmm.
but now that like I'm an adult, I don't like go, you know?
Yeah. Well, I don't care how many chemicals you put in a standing water like that, and you throw that many people, and you don't know their
People?
yeah, you throw that many people in there, and you don't know their hygiene. I don't
Yeah.
care what chemicals are in there. Like I just
Well,
don't like that.
it's not standing water. Like they have drains and I mean,
It's not coming from a spring either or a river. Like it's recirculating water is what it is.
yes. Yeah.
Mm,
And
I don't like it.
yeah.
Pineapples.
What? Okay.
That's, well, no, it's just like pineapples. I'm uncomfortable. I don't like it. It's Kevin Hart's safe word. It's a joke off him stand-up comedy. That's why I say it. So,
That was so
sorry.
random.
It's
No,
it's
it's
stuck with
okay.
me. That's why anytime I say that all the time, and that's why it's like, nope, I'm uncomfortable. That's my safe word. I'm out. Like,
Okay. Um, but so the I'm interested to see what they do with this fifth park, like and what exactly they do with it. You know,
Right.
like because each of their parks has a design. They have Epcot, they have MGM, they have
Hmm.
Magic Kingdom, which is the traditional like castle one, and then they have Animal Kingdom.
Right.
Um, so like I wonder what more like what would this other park be? You know?
Right. I don't
Unless
know.
they dedicate it to space because
That would be cool.
I don't know.
That would be
Yeah,
cool. I
because
still
I
need
mean
to make
like
it to the Florida Disney World. I've only been to the one in California, and like that's really high on my list to attend.
um so in Epcot they have a space portion, but if they
Hmm.
put Epcot just as you're walking around the world and you're eating and you're drinking and you're just doing the small little rides that are in Epcot, because that's really all what Epcot is about going to the different worlds and seeing
Right.
like
Is that where
what
you can
other
drink like all
cultures
the
have.
different beers from all the places?
Yep,
That's cool.
yep, yep.
I want to do that.
And they have a Mexico area. They have a Europe something. They have a Norwegian one because that's where they put Frozen. You have the ride that's inside the actual giant white golf ball
Hmm.
itself. But they do have like what I was going with is that they
Sorry.
do have a like a small little space thing in
Hmm.
there, and I don't know if it's still there. But you were like an astronaut and you were sitting in four across, and you guys would push buttons when they would tell you to push buttons and do
That's cool.
astronaut things, I guess. Yeah. And you like feel the the pressure or whatever. But with them already having what- with them already having the like Star Wars itself, like that's where I'm like, all right, well, if they already have Galaxy's Edge and they have a little bit here, would they do like a whole nother park just based on space? I don't know, but
Yeah.
that's just where my brain went.
Yeah, AD said the rest of the Kevin Hart line, but I usually leave the other part off because people will real quick be like, "What the fuck did you just call me?" Oh shit! I didn't mean to drop that. Anyways, anyways, so from Dune to 007, Dennis Villeneuve is officially stepping behind the camera for the next James Bond.
Yeah. I know that he did Dune 1, 2, and is going to be doing Dune 3. I think that those are really well done movies.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm excited to see what he does with James Bond as the director. And then now that we have a director, like we said
Yeah,
last
yeah,
week,
yeah.
that just means that we're a little step closer to getting that next actual Bond.
Yes, yes. I'm super ready for them to pick the next Bond. Like, there's just so many rumors and stuff out there. Like, I'm like, just hurry up, tell us who it is, so we can quit guessing.
Yeah,
But
because they have a laundry list of like
yeah,
of a wish list. So
yeah. But Mel Brooks is back, but this time it's the origin story of Frankenstein's wildest chapter.
yeah. Did you ever actually watch
Young
the
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein? Yeah.
It's called Young Frankenstein, isn't it, or something like that?
hmm Yeah, it's called
I
Young
did. I
Frankenstein.
did when I was younger. It's. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of a vague blur in my memory.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did watch it when I was younger.
Yeah, as you saw in the picture, Gene Wilder's in it,
Yeah.
and it's very funny. Like, it's Mel Brooks, right? So
Mm.
I'm excited to see what they do with this, especially because Gene Wilder, is no longer with us. So,
But you
what?
know who they should get to play his character as a younger version of him that looks just like him? And I just seen this the other day on Facebook. It has nothing to do with this, but I'm like side by side, and they're like, "Y'all weren't ready for this." Jeremy Allen White looks like a younger version of Gene Wilder, almost spot on. Because
Oh,
people are like, "We need to do a Willy Wonka with Jeremy Allen White playing him," because they look literally like a carbon copies of each other at different ages.
that's crazy. He really
Yeah.
does, though. He has
You
the
should
hair
see
and
this.
everything
Well,
too.
yeah, and the eyes, like the facial
Yeah,
structure, all of it.
yeah.
Him and Gene Wilder are almost like carbon copies of each other.
That's insane. I never even
Yeah,
thought about that. Damn.
yeah.
Damn. But oh man, I wonder if they yeah. Oh man, I have like
Right?
so many like questions now. That's so cool. Oh man. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I'm excited for this because like I watched Young Frankenstein when I was a kid.
Hmm.
Um, because it's a Mel Brooks movie and it's comedy.
Yeah,
So,
and Gene Wilder too on top. Like Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder are just great.
God, I feel like I want to rewatch this movie because it has been a
I
long
probably will
time. Maybe I
rewatch
need to
it.
do maybe I need to do a Mel Brooks like
Oh yeah,
marathon.
because we also just talked about the anniversary for oh shoot Mel Brooks movie. It's not Camelot, but it's like you know what I'm talking about?
With the Men in Tights?
No, was it Mel Brooks I'm thinking of, or am I thinking of something else?
I don't think so. I think you're thinking of somebody else.
Oh my god, I think it was something I mentioned on like when we had a guest on, you weren't here. Oh, what? Why am I drawing a blank? What is it where we have people with wood blocks and they're making it like the clopping sounds for horses? You know what I'm talking about? It's like a giant comedy. And it's taking place like during the Camelot times, like with their knights and stuff. Why? It's a classic. Like someone in the comments help me out here. But I'll
Are you
move on
talking
to
about like the men that do Meep or whatever? The Monty Python?
yes. I'm thinking of Monty Python. Never mind.
It's not Mel
That is
Brooks, but
not Bill
yeah.
Brooks. We said Monty Python. I'm like, yep, not Bill Brooks. Okay, yep, ignore that. Anyways, so Adam
Well, there you go.
Sandler is going on tour, and he's bringing the dad jokes across North America.
Yep. I know that he's coming to Las Vegas. I don't know if this isn't something that I'm gonna go
Me
out
neither.
and go see, but I'm glad that he's out and doing things because
Yeah.
he has Happy Gilmore 2 that's coming out in a month now. Because
Hmm.
that's also coming out on the 25th of July, and you know, it's promoted by Live Nation, and I'm not really sure how I feel about them. I feel like they do some kind of questionable things. But yeah, I think that this is great that he's doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can rank Live Nation up there with Ticketmaster. Oh man. But a year-round horror experience is coming to Chicago in the Midwest, and it's the first of its kind. I'm actually excited about this. I don't know if I'll still be living here when this is done, but if I for some weird reason am, this is in driving distance for me.
Yeah, it's the first entertainment venue of this caliber that's coming to the Midwest, not the Middle East, like I had said earlier. It's a 114,000 square foot building, and it's going to be named the Universal Horror Unleashed. I am really happy that they are continuing to grow Universal, like because we have
Mm-hmm.
a piece of Universal that's now here in Vegas that they're doing a horror something or another over at Area 15, where Meow Wolf is.
Uh-huh.
Um, so they have a Universal thing there now, and now that they're continuing to grow, I think is really cool because I think that everybody does definitely have a little piece of horror in them, and
Yeah.
like the people that really want to get more of this either have to go to Florida or California, and you're like,
Yeah,
that's
there's nothing in
stupid.
between. Yeah,
Yeah. So
I think this
now,
is just great for the people of the Midwest to have something they don't have to travel 12 hours to, or more to get to if you don't fly. But
yeah.
yeah. But Lilo and Stitch is getting a live action sequel. Disney's not done with Ohana just yet.
Yeah. I still haven't watched the first one, but the Lilo and Stitch 2 live action remake is officially underway. It's officially in development.
Yeah,
How do you
with
feel about this since you've seen the first
I'm
one?
okay with it. I know this is a very middle of the fence thing for people. You're either one side or the other. People love it or they hate it. Yeah, I'm here for a second one. I'm good. I like it. I enjoyed the first one, regardless what people want to say and give it crap. But here's the thing: it did well in the box office, regardless of the naysayers. So, and obviously, it did well enough for them to feel confident to make a second one. So, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I like it. But a new Friday the 13th short film is coming just in time for the original's 45th anniversary.
Yeah. So this is going to be called Sweet Revenge. Um, and it, like they said, it's a very short film. And it's going to be prepping for uh, Crystal Lake,
Okay.
the the prequel series.
Mm-hmm.
That's like not that it has anything to do with that, but just to kind of get more hype up about
Sure.
Friday the 13th. I think is what this is supposed to be doing or whatever. And everyone's like really excited about Crystal Lake.
I'm
So
ready to see
I'm
it.
excited.
I'm excited for it. That's coming out. Crystal Lake's a series coming on. Is it Hulu? I think.
No,
FX.
it's a Paramount
Oh, is it? Okay,
Plus,
I couldn't remember.
or it might be Peacock. It's one of the two.
Oh,
One of
I
the
think it's Peacock actually. I think.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Once I said that, I was like, yeah, I think it's Peacock.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't
But
remember the exact date for it yet, off the top of my head though. They do have a date, but I don't remember what
hmm,
it is.
for the Sweet Revenge.
No, no, no,
Oh, with
for
Crystal Lake.
yeah, Crystal Lake, the TV show.
Gotcha. But Subway just dropped collectible Happy Gilmore 2 cups because why not?
As far as I also know, they might have some of the like they might have a actual sandwich that like they're going to be naming after this, but only for this
Okay.
like short period of time or whatever.
Right.
But I think it's cool that now that we're seeing these movies kind of team back up with like Coca-Cola, and now Subway.
Hmm.
So you get collectibles and you don't have to go to the movies to go get collectibles. You
Yeah,
just have to
and
go get food.
it's interesting to see Subway collab for something like this because you don't see Subway collab with a lot of movie and TV show stuff. So yeah, it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, I never really saw Little Caesars do it either, but yet we had Fantastic Four
Fantastic
that did
Four,
Little
yeah,
Caesars.
and that's
Yeah.
so cool. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, no, it really was. So I was like, dang, this is like really cool that
Yeah,
we have this, you know? I just think it's cool to get the hype up about the movie and also gets people to go to those establishments. Like I went to Wendy's, Burger King, one of the two for
hmm,
um when they did it was Wendy's because it was a Frosty. They did the collab with SpongeBob.
oh yeah, okay,
Yeah. So I
yeah,
mean like yeah.
right. Bloomhouse is unwrapping the Mummy, and this one has nothing to do with Brendan Fraser or Tom Cruise.
Yeah. I didn't even know that they were doing this. But the fact that the mummy is like back in wraps. I don't know what I wanted to say for that. Um, so I don't know. I'm really excited to see what they do with this
Hmm.
because the plot is under wraps. Like
Yeah,
very much, no pun intended, but LOL.
right.
And because it has nothing to do with Brendan Fraser or Tom Cruise, I'm excited to see what they do with it. I wonder if they would even bring Brendan Fraser back because Brendan Fraser actually has said that
Yeah,
he was open to coming back. So I'm like, just
I'm.
because it doesn't have to do anything with it, like, would he
Yeah,
come back?
I absolutely grew up on Brendan Fraser's The Mummy One and The Mummy Returns is the best ones and the only ones I really
Yeah.
care for. But I think he had his time. I love a huge Brendan Fraser fan. I'm ready to see a fresh new take that Tom Cruise ain't gonna screw up for us.
Oh, no, I don't think that he's going to be the actual dude. I think that maybe he would just be like a side little
like a
cameo.
cameo. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then this picture got posted also on socials to announce that they actually just wrapped filming. So the filming is
Yeah.
actually done, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, I had whiplash. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
what?
But I'm
I didn't
okay with
even
that
know
because
that
we're
they were doing
getting
this.
these other Frankensteins, that are in production. Um, oh shoot, what else? Isn't there one more like monster film that's also?
Toxic Avenger?
Well, it's not a monster film. I mean, like the monster universe. Like you got the werewolf, you got vampire, you got mummy, you got stuff like that. Maybe it's just the couple of Frankenstein movies or
You have two
bringing
of
up.
them, yeah. You got the Bride and then you have the
Hmm.
Guillermo del Toro's
Yeah, Oscar Isaac.
Frankenstein.
Yeah,
Hmm.
maybe it's
Yeah.
just those. I felt like there was one more. Wolfman. Oh, we just had Wolfman come out. That's what I was thinking of.
And that was
But
very much I watched that and it was
yeah,
I did not
underwhelming.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like we AD and I were watching it and we were like, yep, knew exactly what was gonna happen. Like,
Yeah.
all right, cool.
But 50 Cent, wow. Woo! Like we said, long week. 50 Cent and Jason Momoa are joining Street Fighter. Yep, you heard that right.
Yeah. So they had a couple of other people that also joined the cast of uh, Street Fighter, as well as a couple of, I think, WWE wrestlers.
Okay.
But I don't know. Like, I'm like, huh, we really are doing this. We really are doing
Yep.
a Street Fighter. Okay, cool. I know that there was a couple of people that I was like, okay, they'd be a good fit. Um, so I don't know. Like, I played a lot of Street Fighter when I was growing up and then going into Tekken.
Hmm.
But I don't know how I feel about this. It's a thing that's happening. That's how I feel.
It'll be interesting to see how it turns out for sure.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah, for sure.
last thing on the list for today, Daryl Dixon's back in September. Season 3 has a date, and we got some a first look at some photos that were released.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this one, and
Yeah.
then see, we got this one right here, and then one more of him and Carol. So, and there's also a teaser, that was released as well, and I'm here for it. I've so far have absolutely loved the Daryl Dixon series. It's great. Daryl and Carol are one of my or two of my top favorite characters from this saga, or not saga, I guess
Mm-hmm.
this franchise. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm loving it so far. And when I first heard the idea of the first season before it even came out, I was like, well, this is pretty wild. I think they're reaching. They're in France and they're trying to get back to
Mm-hmm.
America. I think this one takes place part of it in Spain. They're still trying to come back. And actually watching it, I'm like, okay, this wasn't wild and crazy and far-reaching like they're trying to drain money from this franchise. It's actually pretty good, and so I highly recommend it if you haven't watched it yet to get ready for this third season coming out in September.
Yeah, I remember you did the breakdowns for us for season two. So
Hmm.
I think that's insane that we're like it's already happening. September 7th is when it's supposed
Yeah.
to be coming to what is it? I don't know. Hulu?
Oh, no, no, no. It's on AMC channel, so you can
Okay.
get you can subscribe to AMC through Amazon Prime, and
Hmm.
yeah, that's where I watch it. It's through Prime on
Okay. Okay, okay.
AMC subscription.
Yeah, see, I was like, I don't even remember like how you watched it, but yeah, I still have yet to see all of Walking Dead, and now I just I'm like, I don't know if it's worth it. Just because there's
It
like
is.
just so much spin-offs and it's kind of turning into like Dexter and NCIS
Yeah.
where you just have so much content and you're just like overwhelmed. It's almost like if you're thinking about animes, you're thinking Naruto.
But here's the great thing about Walking Dead, and this is why I think it works and they're still doing really good. I mean, financially, they're making good money off this. So, like, these spin-offs we're getting is
Mhm.
story continuation of the OG main characters that everybody loved. So like
Yeah.
so like it's not spin off like, oh, this character popped up mid through the season and let's go venture off on this story. It's not even venturing off on these stories. It's continuing the stories of the main characters that people love, and that's why I think they're doing so well and still working. And what's wild is like I'm going through a Walking Dead rewatch right now. I started it 2 weeks ago, and I'm already in season 7, almost in 8.
You watch things completely different than anybody else watches things. I hope you understand that. Um, but yeah, it's nothing bad against like how you watch series is, but I like sleep.
Yeah, I do too. But what's so wild, and I don't know, it's crazy. This is how I know it's a good thing. Like, all right, so like I love rewatching The Office. It's one of those comfort shows, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Walking Dead's like that for me. I don't know what it is, but here's what's wild and still good. If anybody doesn't has never watched The Walking Dead or they cut off mid whatever, I'm telling you, go back through and rewatch all of it because like even me doing a rewatch this late, right? I've done multiple rewatches. It is so good and still stands so solid that even though I know what's going to happen, it keeps my brain spinning and engaged, and I lose sleep over watching it because it's still that good. Like it
Yeah.
still is that well done. And man, I'm telling you, it's one of the
Yeah.
most solid series that's ever been done to date, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I guess like I'm with AD because I did watch I think an episode or two.
Hmm.
Um or no, I think it was a whole season that I watched and I was just like, it's a show. I don't understand why people are so crazy about it. But
Yeah.
this was after I don't know how many years that it had been out, right? And
Sure.
so I gave it a try. And
And John
and Chaz
Bergdahl's in the
actually
first 2 seasons.
see, I don't even remember that.
Yeah, he's one of the main characters in the first 2 seasons. And let me tell you, he plays his character so damn well. The reason I didn't like him as a person until The Punisher came out was because I hated his character from The Walking Dead. That he like made you hate his character. Like,
It just means he's a great actor.
such a great actor. But that kind of wraps us up this week on Fundamentals. We will catch everybody next week.
Peace.